Perfectionism. It's something most artists deal with, I think. If you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you deal with it too. By the way, I'm Moss Ferns, but you can call me Ava. Hi if we haven't met, and hello again if we have. Today I wanted to come on here and ramble about how I almost let perfectionism stop me from drawing altogether. I've always had some problems with perfectionism when it comes to art, but after I graduated high school in 2022, I was putting so much pressure on myself to be a better artist. I felt like the only way I could become a successful artist would be if I was perfect. At the time, I was taking some online concept art classes through a college in another province, and studying all these professional game artists made things even worse. I'd look at these artists' work next to mine and I'd just focus on all the flaws I saw in my work. I'd stare at a blank digital canvas, overthinking everything before I'd even started. I'd be doubting my abilities and critiquing what I produced before I even put pen to paper. All this negative feedback in my head would make me give up as soon as I hit even one small roadblock in whatever it was I was drawing. Eventually I'd start giving up before I even tried to draw anything. I'd just be thinking over and over again in my head that I wasn't good enough. I literally could not do any digital art for like a year and a half. It was like I physically couldn't. Anytime I tried, I immediately self-sabotaged with like endless self-doubt. Just opening Procreate or Clip Studio Paint started giving me anxiety. As a result, I barely drew at all for like 2 years, and when I did, it was usually traditional art. I did some digital art as well, but just nowhere near the amount I had done in previous years. Over the course of 2025, I've slowly started drawing digitally again, somewhat consistently, but the only way I could do so was abandoning the perfectionism that got me here in the first place, which is easier said than done. I'll tell you that much. Now don't get me wrong, I still struggle with perfectionism. It's still an ongoing battle for me, but I think I'm doing better. During my art hiatus, my digital art semi-hiatus thing, I don't know what to call it, I was still doing some traditional art. I noticed that I didn't completely freeze up when I was trying to create that traditional art like I did with digital. I realized it's because with traditional art there's limitations. You can't undo strokes, you can't always cover up your mistakes. You can't really be perfect, or at least I knew I couldn't. So I wasn't really expecting perfection from myself. I knew something would probably go wrong along the way when I was creating digital art, and it may be something I couldn't cover up or fix. This meant that if I messed up a drawing, it was fine. I wasn't really expecting perfection in the first place. I just wanted to have fun drawing. It didn't need to be good. It just needed to be a drawing. With digital art, you can redo anything. Any random sketch can be theoretically made quote-unquote perfect. It adds this extra layer of like stress and expectation. If I make a shitty little sketch in my sketchbook, I don't really care. But if I do a shitty little digital sketch, I feel frustrated. Like I have all the tools I need to make something good digitally. At least that's how it feels. I think a lot of things contributed to this harmful mindset of mine. I wanted to be a concept artist for video games, but I saw how saturated that was and how much competition there was. I saw the portfolios of other concept artists and how much better they were than me. That would be okay if it didn't mean my already low chances of getting my dream concept art job felt even lower with every amazing portfolio I saw. I felt that the industry wanted perfection, and I wanted to give that to them. There weren't many jobs out there in the nearby big city I planned on moving to, and I was only 18 at the time. I had no work experience as like an artist. I'd never even been able to successfully convince someone to commission me. I had, and still have, no social media following really, despite posting on Instagram for years. But I had passion. I wanted to do this so badly. I felt like it was the only way I could be happy. I also put all my self-worth on how good of an artist I could be, which is crazy. And I hated my art, so that meant I also low-key hated myself. So basically every drawing I messed up felt like ruining my chances at a happy life and solidifying the fact that I was worthless. That's pretty high stakes to put on a random sketch, I'd say, and basically a recipe for the pressure to cause a person to freeze up. Art was my everything, and I wanted so badly to make it work. I wanted so badly to have an industry-worthy portfolio. But I was putting too much meaning on it, so much importance on how good my work was. I was expecting perfection. I was expecting a level of skill above the one I actually had at the time whenever I drew. So when obviously my work wasn't at that skill level I was hoping for, I grew just so frustrated. You grow your skills by practicing, not by starting and immediately deleting a million pieces, or by staring at a blank canvas and undoing every single brushstroke as soon as you lay it down. I'm still recovering from this mindset, to be honest, and I'm frustrated because my art stagnated over the last 2 years because I wasn't really practicing. I feel like my skills are rusty, and for the last months, I've been trying to get back into my artistic flow that I had before. But that's okay. I'm at a place now where it's okay if my art is, I guess, quote unquote, like bad. It will improve over time, and it will never be perfect because honestly, that's impossible. The process of art is just as important as the final product, and if I'm enjoying the process, it doesn't matter what the end result is. I'll try and make something I'm proud of, but if I'm not proud of it, that's okay too. I can make something new. You make more progress making 10 pieces than you do nitpicking one piece to death and spending way too long on it and trying to make it perfect. At this point, I just want to create. I don't want to try and train myself to be a perfect industry machine, especially with how uncertain everything feels in the industry with AI and whatnot, and, current not so great job market. I just want to create and have fun doing it, and hopefully people will see the love I have for art and creating things. If people can see the heart of what I'm creating, that's good enough for me. Skills come with time and practice, and I do want to improve. But what's immediate is heart and soul. I can put my passion and enthusiasm and feelings and all these things into my art right now. And I guarantee that's more interesting than a drawing I made feeling miserable, or an image AI turns out there's no soul behind it. Side note, I think the influx of AI images at this time contributed to the hopelessness I was feeling. It was probably part of the reason I did more traditional art instead, because I felt like at least AI couldn't pick up a pencil. That's the one thing I could do that AI couldn't. In conclusion, my goal for 2026 is to create, not to be perfect. Maybe not even be good, honestly. I just want to take all of that pressure off and just create stuff. Anyway, this is a bit of a ramble. It's kind of just my own personal experience, not so much an advice video or anything like that. I feel like this is something that could resonate with other artists potentially, especially people who recently graduated high school or college and are feeling a bit hopeless right now. I actually want to redo the rendering for the drawing in the background here because I wasn't a fan of the end result, to be honest, but I felt like that'd be a little bit hypocritical for a video about perfectionism. Not that trying to make a good drawing constitutes perfectionism inherently, of course, blah blah, you know what I mean. I'm just sick of mulling over a single drawing, trying to make it so, perfect. So I decided it's okay if I don't love this one. I can still post this video, and maybe next time I'll create something I like a bit more. This is a bit of a side tangent, I know, but I really want to figure out a rendering style that I actually like. Like, my current one I'm not a huge fan of. It feels kind of like a boring rendering style to me. I'm considering making a video of me testing different rendering styles to help me find a style that matches the kind of art, I want to create. But I'm not sure if that's something you guys would want to see, so please do let me know if that would be a video you're interested in. And any other video suggestions are greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I just hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.